Alright, so I picked up this MATCO long metric combination wrench set, and so far I'm pretty happy with the fitment as far as the box end portion goes, with it being a spline drive. And I do like the fact that it has engraved teeth at the open end part. The metal does feel pretty good in the hand. I'm not a metal expert, I don't pretend to be, but at any rate, it does fit pretty good in my hand. I do like the fitment of the box end, and I'll show you on a fastener here in a second. However, I expected the long metric to be a little longer than they were. Unfortunately, they just feel like they're a little bit longer than standard combination wrench, not much more. However, a secondary wrench set was picked up and purchased by a friend of mine, Shane, whom I work with, and he picked up the 12-piece metric hex grip wrench set. If you guys haven't heard of this, you're going to want to hear this, or at least check this set out. What it has on the box end portion is kind of like a bolt extractor or a nut extractor. You ever run into a rounded off fastener, whether it be a nut or a bolt, they just couldn't quite get loose? Well, MATCO has now developed this wrench set that actually incorporates that in the box end portion. Just to give you an idea, here is their 17mm combination wrench, and here is a 17mm combination wrench in the long metric combination wrenches that I picked up. And that is almost perfectly even with the base there. And you can see why I wish they were a little bit longer, because when you purchase a long metric wrench set, you want them to be long. However, this hex grip or bolt or nut extractor set that MATCO has come up with, their wrenches are a lot longer than the long-gated combination wrench set that they sell. So a little disappointed in the length factor, especially when they put, long on the box. So, all that aside, let's check out the fitment of what it's like on the head of a bolt. I don't have a vise or anything like that, but I can do this by the hand. Here is the box end portion, which you guys have seen in earlier clips. That does have that extractor kind of look or feel to it. Putting it on the fastener, it does seem to bite in quite well. Whoop, I went through it. And you can see there's a little bit of movement, but it expects that because it's going for a rounded fastener, and the way that it bites in, where the tooth is on it, it digs in just before the edge or the corner of the bolt on the flat. So that is where all your turning force is going to take place when you're trying to back out that bolt or nut that's been rounded. Now, going with the spline drive is able to break away rounded and rounded bolts or nuts kind of in a similar fashion, but there are multiple points that help to dig in on certain portions, i.e. the corner, the flats, etc. However, much more than that, it is also designed to handle a, I don't know if you guys see that, a 6.50% round off, a Torx, a square, a spline, and a 12 point. So I'd be curious to see how that ends up holding up through the course of time. But I actually really like that feature. Now, I'm no, metal person. I have no idea what kind of metal this is made out of, but the open end actually felt pretty good to me too. This is the combination spline drive wrench, and it does feel like it would bite in quite well. So maybe we'll take that to a vise and see how well it really does bite in. Now, going with the 12-piece metric hex grip, so now you're getting 12 pieces. It covers 8 through 19. The combination spline version that I have is also a 12-piece set, covers 8 through 19. What I like about this set is the open end actually has almost a V shape to it, with more involvement when it comes to the teeth and the grip on the inside of the wrench. First, again, rounded fasteners. So I actually really do like that feature. As I saw both sets, something drove me to the Spline Drive version, so I ended up picking these up for around 250 bucks. Now, before you guys comment, I'm sure you're wondering how much was the hex grip wrench set. The hex grip wrench set comes in at $262. So you're looking at literally a $10 difference. If I had to make this purchase all over again, I think I would have rather had the hex grip wrench set over the Spline Drive. And let me tell you why. Primarily because I don't typically use a Spline Drive wrench to remove a Torx fastener or a square bolt or anything like that. If I'm using it, I'm usually using it on a bolt. And some of those bolts or some of those nuts are usually rounded, and they could be 50% or more rounded. I think the better purchase for me, I probably should have gone with the hex grip wrench set, but had decided at the last minute that I was going to go with the Spline Drive. You guys can let me know what I should have done down in the comment vlog. Now I understand that these tools do come at a price. Quality does come in at a price. That's just the way that it goes. So let's put this in a vise. Let me see if I can't round the shit out of the corners, and then we'll see how well these wrenches work to extract. Alright, just so that way everyone is aware of what's getting ready to take place now, I'm going to use my 17mm MATCO long combination wrench with Spline Drive to attempt to round the shit out of this fastener on the vise. I will then attempt to back the fastener out utilizing the Spline Drive version and the hex grip wrench. So let's go to the vise, round this fastener, and see how well it works. Let's do it. Alright, first I'm going to run the bolt down. The nut is secured in the vise. I feel like I'm about as far as I need to go. Maybe we can go a little farther. So first I'm going to use a Spline Drive. Just kind of run it down a little bit more. When I get to a nice point where I feel like it's starting to get tight, we're gonna put a little bit of extra stuff on it. Let's just say that. Alright, so now I've gotten it to a point where I got some extra stuff on it. It's tight, and it's gone a little bit beyond tight. So now I'm going to use the open end portion to attempt to round the fastener. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this, but I think one of those ways that we've all done in the past is we have used a hammer before. So we're going to use a snap-on brass hammer, and I'm just going to give it some love taps and see what happens. Don't do this at home. Okay. That fucker is on there good. Let me try to get another one. Alright. That seems to be working out pretty well. It's still biting in, and it has not rounded it yet. We might have to get a cheater pipe at this point. So let me find a cheater pipe and we'll go from there. Okay, I have found a cheater pipe. It is my jack handle. The jack handle 5000. No, I'm just kidding. It's just my Harbor Freight aluminum jack handle. Now I'm going to put the open end on it. Again, I'm purposely trying to round the edges of this bolt for demonstration purposes only. I would never use a cheater pipe with an open end portion of a wrench. In the past, I have used a cheater pipe or another wrench in combination to crack a nut or a bolt loose, but I've never actually used a cheater pipe or another wrench to try to loosen or tighten with the open face. Open faces typically just don't hold up that long. Let's go ahead and we'll put it on here and see what happens. See if we can't round something. I am putting quite a bit behind that. So far I have not rounded. I actually feel like we're going to end up stripping the nut or the bolt first, but let's see. We're tightening, man. We are tightening and tightening. We might have to just purposely put just the tip of the wrench on it to round it. There we go. Like I said, guys, I had this thing dug in really good. Hammer it in there. If I have it completely set, this bolt continues to bite and turn with the wrench. So this is not an easy task, trying to round it with this wrench. So now let me see if we can try something else, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to round the edges of this bolt. So let me just smack on the edges of it with the hammer. Oh, I might have to tighten up the vise here. It's starting to move around a lot. Loosen it up. Reposition the nut and bolt. I am actually getting some corners rounded, so this is good. And it's really tight, believe me. All right. See if I can smack on a couple more edges. Fuck this bolt up. Yeah, we got some rounded edges. It's looking pretty good, but I think we can do better. Find another hammer if I got one in here. Don't. Only got the brass. Oh, what else can I use? Maybe I can use this little tiny breaker bar to kind of screw up a corner with the hammer. Get a good little bite going here. There we go. This is to an extreme level. There's no way anyone would do this. Hopefully not. We're taking it to the extreme though. We want these corners screwed up. Alright, let's take a look and see what we got going on. Alright, I've got some gnarly dings and I have rounded the bolt pretty darn good all the way around. Except for maybe that corner. It's a little rounded. Alright, now using the spline drive first, let's attempt to slip the box end portion over the top, because that's what we're all curious about, and see if it fits. It does fit. Doesn't fit as good as it used to, but it does fit. Let's see if I can loosen it. Oh, no, I just kind of rounded it more. That might be good. Oh yeah, it's just digging in. It's not even attempting to round it. Let's grab the other one. Alright, so now I've got the hex grip, which is a little bit longer, and it has a completely different design to it. And let's just see if it can extract the head of this bolt. See if it'll fit. Okay, it does fit. Oop! The vise is turning, hang on. Try to hold this thing still. Come on, baby, hold still. Come on, bitch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. I cannot believe how freaking tight that is right now. I might have stripped the inside of the nut too. Because right now, what it feels like this bolt is almost cross-threaded. And those of you that know what cross-threading is, you know how it feels. Let's see. Let's just see. I'm still putting a good amount of pressure behind this thing. Ah. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, it's getting tighter. There you go. Yep. I think we're past the bad. It got tight there for a minute. All right. Woo, we're out of it. Oh yeah. Those threads are stretched and this bolt feels hot. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It might still look kind of clean in the picture, but believe me, they have a flattened edge to them now. And the bolt is hot. Hot, hot. So dang, how about that? All right, so you guys got a chance to see the hex grip. You guys got a chance to see the spline drive from MATCO. Those two combination wrenches are pretty badass. You saw the video. I really like the open end portion of the spline drive. Used that to beat and whale on and everything else. Did not want to abuse the tool that did not belong to me, so you didn't see me beat the hell out of the bolt with Shane's wrenches. You saw me beat the hell out of a bolt with my wrenches. But with his having more features on the open end than mine, I think his open end version might work out a little bit better for you, especially with rounded fasteners. Now you saw on the spline drive versus the actual hex grip, right, that when I was trying to extract the bolt from the nut, the spline drive wouldn't grab it. Remember, it said 50% rounded. I destroyed the shit out of that bolt. It just kept rounding it more. It wouldn't extract it. We put the hex grip on it, boom, it was off. It took a little bit of effort, but we managed to get it off. So, in my opinion, for $10 extra above cost of what the spline drives cost, I would get the hex grip. I would get them all. If I had to do it all over again, I'd give back the spline drive and get the hex grip. Now that still might be a possibility. I'm gonna talk to my MATCO man, see what he says. If he says it's cool, that's what I'm gonna do. That's all I got for this video, guys. I hope this helped you to decide which combination wrench set was best for you. Especially in 2018, more and more tool manufacturers are coming up with better quality wrenches with more geared to the mechanic and the mechanic's needs, man. The mechanic's needs. We need to take out rounded fasteners, and instead of buying several different tools to do it, how cool is it to have just a combination wrench that does it all? It's freaking awesome. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. Hit the thumbs down if you didn't like the video. We'll see you next time. Deuces.